Good morning. May I invite you to take your seats as we begin our opening ceremony. Los invito a tomar su asiento en el momento que empezamos la ceremonia de inauguración. Muy bien. Ministers, Executive Secretary of the Oladi, members of the Diplomatic Corps, delegates from Latin America and the Caribbean, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opening ceremony for the second meeting of Energy Ministers of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, held here in the beautiful city of Montego Bay. Bienvenidos todos a la segunda reunión de ministros de energía de la Comunidad de Estados Latinoamericanos y Caribeños. Right away, I would like to invite you to stand as we open with our national anthem. Sea tan amables de ponerse de pie para el himno nacional de Jamaica. Thank you very much. Kindly be seated. Let's hear it for Children of the Drums. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a group that is here from Montego Bay, and as you can see, strong African influence in their repertoire, but with a strong Jamaican presence as well. So it was a very good way to start off our opening ceremony, and we thank Children of the Drums here from Montego Bay. Muchas gracias a los hijos de los tambores. Okay, we're going to now move into the official part of our ceremony, and I'd like to invite Honorable Arnaldo Brown, Minister of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, to deliver opening remarks. Invito al Ministro de Estado, Honorable Arnaldo Brown, a hacer discurso de apertura.
Permanent Secretary, Ambassador Paul Robotham, the Honorable Philip Paulwell, Minister of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining of Jamaica, His Excellency Alfredo Lopez Valdez, Minister of Energy and Mining of the Republic of Cuba and pro tempore Presidency, Dr. Victorio Davalos, Executive Secretary, Latin America Energy Organization, Councillor Glendon Harris, His Worship, the Mayor of Montego Bay, the Honorable Sharon Fowkes Abrahams, in the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Honorable members of the Energy of Latin America and the Caribbean, members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, permanent secretaries, delegates, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Pleasant morning. On behalf of the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade and the government and the people of Jamaica, it is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to the second meeting of Ministers of Energy of the Community of Latin America and the Caribbean States, CELAC, being held here in Montego Bay. As many of you are aware, CELAC has emerged as a consensus-led framework in recognizing the region's potential to better respond to global challenges through the consolidation of ideas and resources and the sharing of experiences. The CELAC mechanism thus provides an ideal platform to address the many issues impacting on the social, political, and economic development of the region. This purposeful and united approach towards building a solid Latin America and Caribbean community reminds us of the vision first articulated in Kingston in 1815 by Simon Bolivar in his famous Carta de Jamaica. It is against this background that I wish to take the opportunity to commend the government of the Republic of Cuba for its effective stewardship of the CELAC pro tempore Secretariat and its commitment towards strengthening the CELAC mechanism in all spheres of regional cooperation and integration. Jamaica's and the Caribbean's strong historical ties with Latin America can be traced, among other things, to migration movements within the region, which have enriched our cultural diversity. This, together with the many forms of cooperation activities undertaken between and among countries, has laid the foundation for a more structured approach to consensus building and results-based action in fostering development. Jamaica's determination to host this important energy meeting is a testament to the high priority we accord to this issue, bearing in mind our common resolve towards achieving energy efficiency and security for the region. We are all mindful that there are numerous challenges to overcome, but we must remain committed to realizing a regional energy mix that maximizes the potential of the diverse and unique resources of all 33 member states of the community. Jamaica recognizes the CELAC not only projects the identity of Latin America and the Caribbean, but it also encourages dialogue that promotes tangible outcomes. This ministerial meeting, therefore, raises the expectation that, given the importance of energy to our region, we will use all efforts to find workable solutions to address our energy needs. And in the context of Jamaica, this is extremely critical. CELAC is developing at a pace that is attracting the attention of the wider international community. It is our firm belief that as the organization navigates its way through the 21st century and beyond, this process will create new opportunities for advancing the regional integration agenda. We should therefore seek to emerge from these deliberations with a robust 2013 Montego Bay Declaration and Plan of Action. And I pause here to commend both the Honourable Minister, Minister Paulwell, and the Minister of State, Julian Robinson, who has been doing a sterling job over these 2 days. Following on the initiatives agreed in 2012 Lima Action Plan, we will engage the region in specific and tangible actions. As we enter into this round of discussions, please accept, on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade and myself, best wishes for a successful meeting. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Brown. And as I said, and as you're all aware, we are in the beautiful city of Montego Bay. So it is only fitting that we should be joined by His Worship, the Mayor, Councillor Glendon Harris. We're delighted, sir, that you're here with us this morning, and we'd now like to invite you to bring your welcome. Invito al alcalde de Montego Bay a hacer uso de la palabra para dar la bienvenida.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Minister of Energy, Mr. Philip Paulwell, Minister of State, Arnaldo Brown, Minister of State Sharon Fowkes Abrams, Honorable Ministers of Energy of the Latin America and the Caribbean, Members of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic and Consular Corps, Permanent Secretaries, delegates, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is really a pleasure this morning to welcome you all, and particularly our visitors to the city of Montego Bay, especially those that are visiting the shores of Jamaica for the first time. I also hope that you will find some time to take in the beautiful sights, the lovely offerings that we have in this resort town to offer. The people of Montego Bay, and by extension the parish of St. James, are honored that our city was chosen as the host location for the second meeting of the Ministers of Energy of the Community of Latin America and the Caribbean states. This regional summit is in keeping with Jamaica's commitment to increase regional cooperation in energy. Energy is integral to our economic and social environment. We therefore have to learn how to properly manage its resources, its sources, and explore new opportunities for usable resources while limiting the environmental impact. This platform will be used to promote the Jamaican government's effort to enhance the local energy sector, as well as to showcase our rich culture and heritage. I wish for you a successful meeting and hope that the vibrant discussions will result in an exchange of the ideas and the sharing of best practices. I'm confident that a regional partnership will aid in the transfer of knowledge and skills between states, improve technical cooperation, and strengthen institutional capacity that will in turn safeguard and develop the energy industries of our individual societies. Being in Montego Bay, as we here want to ensure that this city becomes the model in the Caribbean, we want to once again welcome you to Montego Bay. Please have a wonderful conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor Harris. And it's no accident that we're having the conference on a Thursday and a Friday, because the idea is for the delegates who have come from Latin America and the Caribbean to stay around and enjoy the weekend. Muchas gracias, señor alcalde, por sus palabras de bienvenida. Okay, well, you know, it would be impossible to have a Latin American and Caribbean energy conference without Olade being at the table. And we are very delighted that we are joined by the Executive Secretary of Olade, Dr. Victorio Auxilia Davalos. And Olade has been tremendously supportive, and we now invite Dr. Auxilia Davalos to make his remarks. Secretario Ejecutivo de la Olade, Dr. Auxilia Davalos.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Excellency, Honorable Philip Powell, Minister of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining of Jamaica, His Excellency Alfredo Lopez Valdez, Minister of Energy and Mining of the Republic of Cuba and pro tempore Presidency of CELAC, Honorable Arnaldo Brown, Minister of State, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade of Jamaica, Councillor Glendon Harris, His Worship, the Mayor of Montego Bay, this lovely city. Excellencies, distinguished national authorities, and delegates from member countries of CELAC and Olade as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first of all express our deepest gratitude to the government of Jamaica for organizing, together with the pro tempore presidency of CELAC, Cuba, and for hosting as well this relevant event for our region, the second ministerial meeting of the energy sector of CELAC. Thank you also for your hospitality, people and government of Jamaica, and for all your kind attention that we receive us during all over this week, actually. Thank you, Montego Bay, this amazing and lovely city. We must to come here again and again, to know better this city. The community of Latin American and Caribbean states, CELAC, was formed at the Unity Summit in Riviera, in Mexico, on February 2010. as you know better than me, the main objective is to unite all the Latin American and Caribbean states, 33 in total. This is done in order to strengthen the political, social, and cultural integration of our region. CELAC is the successor to both the Rio Group and CALC, and it is intended to improve the quality of life, stimulate economic and social growth, and most importantly, advance the well-being of all the region's people. In order to stimulate economic and social growth, as you know, ministers and delegates, energy supply and use is paramount to this process. In that regard, energy integration will be one of the pillars for regional integration. This was one of the reasons because OLADE was called for the Ministers of Energy of CELAC in their first meeting held in Lima the former year to be its technical secretariat in terms of supporting some activities that were incorporated into the Lima Action Plan, which was the outcome of the first meeting of CELAC Ministers of Energy. The Latin American Energy Organization, which is becoming the Latin American and Caribbean Energy Organization, OLACDE, is willing and able to play its role in this process. The highest level authority of OLADE, its meeting of ministers, approved the participation of OLADE to perform the activities which were mandated to this regional organization. So, OLADE will take on the role of technical support, and this means the technical support arm for the meeting of Ministers of Energy of CELAC, in close coordination with the CELAC pro tempore presidency. OLADE, as you know, was formed in the beginning of the 1970 decade as a regional response in the energy sector to a complex international context when the debate on the new international economic order was consolidated in the international community. I'm referring to the new relationship among the named developing countries and developing countries. The defense and protection of the strategic natural resources were in the center of the debate, as well as the consideration of these resources as an essential element for the social and economic development of our countries. In fact, it was November 1973 that this noble organization, OLADE, came into being, and so we are celebrating our 40th anniversary this year. OLADE provides for its 27 member countries technical and political support in the process of undertaking strategies for energy development. We were called to be the regional face of the energy sector of Latin American and the Caribbean region. And we are working together in terms of supporting technical aspects and cooperation with the regional processes, initiatives, and mechanisms, such as UNASUR, CICA, Central American Integration System, CARICOM, Andean Community, and now CELAC. And we also have a strategic alliance with other regional organisms, such as ECLAC, ARPEL, CIER, among others. OLADE has various projects and programs that are undertaken in the various member countries in order to achieve our strategic objectives based on 5 pillars for the current administration. First, to support institutional strengthening of the energy authorities of the member countries. Second one, to consolidate a regional platform for knowledge management in the energy sector. We have a lot of technical networks which are working in our organization. To spread good practices in the administration of the hydrocarbons and electricity sectors, to contribute to sustainable energy development and social inclusion that is very important for our countries. And finally, to promote the integration and regional energy security, which is one of the key topics that we will discuss today. OLADE has various planning and information tools that are actively being used for policy formulation and planning in our member countries, 27 right now. Tomorrow, maybe 33. That is our goal. All CELAC. We have a sound experience accumulated over the last 4 decades in all the main areas of energy sector to support our member countries in the regional integration initiatives and processes. CELAC can count OLADE to cooperate in the technical aspects. In terms of our presence in the Caribbean region, it deserves to be mentioned today that OLADE has grown leaps and bounds, and in August 2012 established in Jamaica, in Kingston, the sub-regional office for the Caribbean region, with the close and relevant support and collaboration of the government of Jamaica, in particular, the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy, and Mining. Thank you, Honorable Philip Powell. For OLADE, the sub-regional offices address one of the main strategic objectives of fostering integration and energy security in the region. In other words, it greatly facilitates the process by which member states can undertake common efforts to achieve integration and development in the regional energy sector. There are many benefits to be derived from regional energy integration. You know that. In fact, this strategy is not new to the Latin American and Caribbean regions. It's an old dream. Economic growth in several countries of the region has been denied as a result of past energy crises. These crises could have been greatly relieved if there had been adequate capacity within the regional energy system. Many integration and cooperation projects are already in place in the region, and there are also some under development. These include electrical interconnections, natural gas pipelines, oils and fuels, trade, renewable energy joint programs, energy efficiency pilot projects, among others. The energy integration process can be a long and tedious one, but we strongly consider, that it's worthy to go straight, to go ahead in this way. And in this regard, CELAC is an adequate regional mechanism or process to go forward in terms of energy integration. And OLADE has that mission, so it makes sense, the OLADE effective participation in this initiative. Thank you very much.
Agradecemos mucho al doctor por su discurso y por recordarnos que la integración energética de América Latina y el Caribe no empieza de cero. Tenemos 40 años o más de hacer esto, pero estamos haciendo un nuevo empuje para mejorarlo. So thank you, Doctor, for your remarks and for reminding us that we have been doing energy integration for close to 40 years, and we are expanding it now through the vehicle of CELAC, incorporating more countries who are in CELAC but are not in OLADE. Thank you again, Doctor. Well, this meeting, ladies and gentlemen, is a collaboration between two countries of the Caribbean, two countries in the North Central Caribbean, which are Cuba and Jamaica. Cuba, as you know, is the current pro tempore president of the CELAC, and they have been exercising this function for a year. And they will have the CELAC summit in Havana in January 2014, and we are certainly looking forward to that. It's fitting, therefore, that we should be joined by His Excellency Alfredo Lopez Valdez, Minister of Energy and Mining of the Republic of Cuba, and he is here to represent Cuba as a pro tempore president. Sin más, invito a Su Excelencia Alfredo López Valdés, Ministro de Energía y Minas de la República de Cuba y Presidente pro tempore de la CELAC, a hacer uso de la palabra y pronunciar su discurso.
Honorable Philip Powell, Ministro de Ciencia, Tecnología, Energía y Minas de Jamaica. Honorable Arnaldo Brown, Ministro de Estado del Ministerio de Relaciones Exteriores y Comercio Exterior de Jamaica. Alcalde Glendon Harris, Alcalde de Montego Bay. Doctor Victorio Auxilia, Secretario Ejecutivo de la OLADE. Honorables Ministros y Jefes de Delegaciones, distinguidos miembros del Cuerpo Diplomático e invitados.
Honorable Arnaldo Brown, Minister of State and Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Honorable Philip Powell, Minister of Science, Technology, Energy and Mines of Jamaica, Your Excellency Glendon Harris, Mayor of Montego Bay, Dr. Victoria Auxilia, Executive Secretary of OLADE, Honorable Ministers and Delegates of Jamaica and our other countries.
Permítame transmitir un caluroso saludo a nombre de la Presidencia pro tempore cubana de la Comunidad de Estados Latinoamericanos y Caribeños. Aprovecho la ocasión para agradecer también la presencia de varios ministros y altos representantes que nos honran con su participación.
Please allow me to transmit a warm greeting on behalf of the pro tempore presidency of Cuba of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States. I also take advantage of this opportunity to thank the presence of various ministers and senior representatives that honor us with their presence here.
Nos sentimos honrados y agradecemos profundamente la calurosa bienvenida y las excelentes facilidades que nos han brindado las autoridades jamaicanas para la celebración de esta reunión. Es motivo también de satisfacción encontrarnos en esta hermosa ciudad que nos acoge en esta ocasión para celebrar nuestra cita.
We are deeply honored and we thank the warm welcome and the excellent facilities that have been offered to us by the Jamaican authorities for the hosting of this meeting. It's motive of us also of satisfaction to meet in this beautiful city that is hosting us to celebrate our important meeting.
El generoso ofrecimiento de Jamaica para servir de anfitrión a este importante cónclave es una muestra fehaciente del firme compromiso de este país y del Caribe con el fortalecimiento de la CELAC que es, en otras palabras, el compromiso con las más nobles aspiraciones de integración de nuestra región. Agradecemos de todo corazón a Jamaica este gesto.
The generous offering of Jamaica to host this meeting is a firm presence and a firm commitment of this country and the Caribbean for the strengthening of CELAC, which is, in other words, the commitment of the most noble aspirations of integrations in our region.
Señoras y señores, resulta sin duda muy significativo que nos reunamos precisamente en una isla caribeña para hablar de energía, tema que siempre ha estado en el centro de las preocupaciones, en particular de los pequeños estados insulares, puesto que en la mayoría de los casos carecemos de los preciados recursos que aportan las fuentes energéticas tradicionales, lo cual ha constituido históricamente un obstáculo importante para nuestro desarrollo.
It is, without a doubt, very significant that we meet precisely in a Caribbean island to speak about energy, a topic that has always been at the center of our concerns, particularly for small states that are, in most cases, do not have the precious resources that have all these energy sources that we use traditionally, and that has been historically an obstacle for our development.
Al propio tiempo encontramos en nuestra región una gran fortaleza en términos de recursos energéticos, puesto que contamos con el 17% de las reservas de petróleo y el 4% de las reservas de gas natural del mundo. Asimismo, resulta notable la utilización de fuentes energéticas renovables como la hidroenergía y los biocombustibles, fundamentalmente en países de América del Sur, y existe un gran potencial de las energías eólica y solar en la mayoría de nuestros países. Su aprovechamiento sostenible representa tanto una oportunidad como un desafío.
At the same time, we think that our region, according to Olade too, has a great strength in terms of energy resources, because we have 17% of the oil reserves and 4% of the natural gas reserves of the world. Likewise, it is noticeable that we use energy sources that are renewable, such as hydroenergy and biofuels, especially in countries of South America, where there is a great potential for energies, wind energy and solar energy in most of the countries. So, taking advantage of these resources in a sustainable manner is an opportunity, but it's also a challenge.
Especialmente en el Caribe tenemos mucho sol y podemos usarlo. Todavía la energía fotovoltaica es un poco cara, pero en el futuro irá disminuyendo su costo.
So, especially in the Caribbean, where we have so much sun, we can use the solar energy. It's still expensive in terms of technology, but in the future it will become a very good source and it will be widely used.
Y sobre todo tiene la oportunidad que está en todos los lugares.
And especially it's good because it's everywhere.
O sea que puede ponerse siempre en el lado del consumidor.
So you are always going to be on the side of the consumer.
Una buena política puede promover que los consumidores instalen sus paneles solares, y con lo cual sería una forma de tener la energía en el mismo lugar donde se va a consumir y evitar pérdidas de transmisión y problemas con el balance energético nacional.
A good policy will be to have the consumers install their own solar equipment so that they can store the energy at the same place where it is going to use, and that would also allow to save.
Es nuestra responsabilidad profundizar en análisis de este panorama con el apoyo de los organismos regionales especializados en la materia, tal como LADE, y generar iniciativas que nos permitan reforzar la cooperación y complementación, el intercambio de experiencias y la transferencia de tecnologías en materia energética en aras de nuestro desarrollo.
It is our responsibility to enhance the analysis of this scenario with the support of regional bodies that are specialized in these matters, such as OLADE, as well as to generate initiatives that would allow us to enforce the cooperation and complementation and the exchange of experiences, as well as the transfer of technology in energy matters that will allow us to have a better development.
Un primer paso fue dado el año pasado en Lima, con la celebración de la primera reunión de ministros de energía de la CELAC. Allí se asumieron compromisos importantes a los cuales nos corresponde dar un adecuado seguimiento en esta ocasión y seguir construyendo y avanzando sobre la base de los mismos.
A first step in this important dialogue was carried out last year in Lima with the celebration of the first ministers' meeting or meeting of ministers of energy of CELAC. In that place, there, they signed important commitment to which we must follow up, and also we must continue developing and growing based on those agreements.
En medio de una prolongada crisis económica y financiera internacional, caracterizada entre otras cosas por altos precios de los combustibles fósiles y del mantenimiento de sus altos precios en el futuro previsible, los temas en los que centraremos nuestros debates revisten una gran importancia para América Latina y el Caribe.
In the midst of this prolonged financial and economic crisis at international level, which is characterized, among other things, by the high prices of fuels and biofuels, as well as the continued trend of high prices in the foreseeable future, the topics that we should center on the discussion here are essential for Latin America and the Caribbean.
Ellos nos permitirán el imprescindible intercambio de experiencias tanto de alcance nacional como subregional, que servirá de base para facilitar la cooperación y avanzar hacia el diseño de una estrategia energética regional.
Our discussion will allow us to acquire more experience and to exchange experience at the national level as well as the sub-regional level, and that will serve as a basis to facilitate cooperation and also to advance in a design of a regional energy strategy.
Los retos que enfrenta nuestra región en materia de desarrollo energético son conocidos. La carencia de recursos financieros y de tecnologías y el alto costo de las mismas son quizás los más importantes desafíos para muchos de nuestros países. Ello nos impide la explotación adecuada de nuestros recursos energéticos y el desarrollo pleno de las fuentes renovables de energía, imprescindibles para considerar una matriz sostenible de suministro energético, en consonancia con la protección del medio ambiente. De ahí la necesidad de aunar esfuerzos en pos del bienestar de nuestros pueblos y del desarrollo sostenible de nuestra región.
Our region is facing challenges in terms of energy development, which are known to all of us. The scarcity of resources, financially, also technological resources, as well as the high cost, are perhaps the most important challenges for all of us or all our countries. That hinders the exploitation of our energy resources and the full development of the renewable resources, and also resources that are essential to consolidate the sustainable development as well as the energy development based on the protection also of the environment. That is why it is very necessary that we join forces for the well-being of our peoples and for the sustainable development of our region.
Les reitero el saludo fraterno a nombre de la Presidencia pro tempore de la CELAC, junto a la convicción de que nuestras deliberaciones serán exitosas.
So I reiterate the fraternal greeting on behalf of the pro tempore presidency of CELAC, together with the conviction that our deliberations will be successful.
Finalmente, una idea. Hemos oído hablar muchas veces de interconectarnos mediante gas, hemos oído hablar de interconectarnos con líneas eléctricas, pero lo más importante es que interconectemos nuestras voluntades de trabajar juntos para resolver los problemas de la energía de la región. Podemos y debemos unirnos. Muchas gracias.
A final thought. We have been speaking about interconnecting ourselves, electrical connection, gas connection, but the most important connection that we can have is the will of all to join together and to interconnect physically too in order to help each other. So we can and we should join forces. Thank you very much.
Agradecemos a Su Excelencia el Ministro López Valdés por ese discurso y por recordarnos que la integración más importante es la integración humana, y con esa plataforma podemos avanzar mucho. Thank you very much, Minister Valdez, Lopez Valdez, for your remarks and for reminding us about the importance of the human level to integration and development. Now we are in for another treat, as we are going to have a cultural performance by a group of children from right here in Montego Bay. They are the Corinaldi group, and they have won many competitions in Jamaica for gospel music and for other types of music. And they're going to be doing a medley of reggae songs and some gospel music as well. El grupo de Corinaldi con una medley, un popurrí de reggae y música evangélica. Adelante. Go ahead.
I'm searching
So, thank you. Well, was that amazing? They are ages 10 to 13. And they are Rone, Lisa, Gabriel, Anik, Daniel, and Amelia. And they have won the National Children's Gospel Competition 2009, 2010, 2012, and I think they're going to win again in 2013. I hope the teachers haven't left, because I'd like to recognize Miss Janet Gray, who is a teacher and the manager, and I would also like to recognize Mr. Gavin Lindo, who is a teacher and the musical director. So can we have a hand for the teachers, please? Bueno, señores y señoras y señores, sabemos que eventos como esto no suceden, no se pueden realizar. The teachers, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Janet Gray and Mr. Gavin Lindo. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. It was wonderful. Thank you. Eventos como esto no pueden llevarse a cabo sin voluntad política. Y hay un maestro que está detrás de todo esto, el campeón de este evento en Jamaica, que es nuestro propio ministro de Energía, de Ciencia, Tecnología, Energía y Minas. Tiene un título muy largo, lo que más o menos da una impresión de la gran responsabilidad que tiene en Jamaica. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that it's impossible to have meetings like this without political will. And there is one gentleman who has been the champion of promoting energy integration and of making sure that this CELAC meeting happened in Jamaica, but not only in Jamaica, but in Montego Bay, which actually is the cradle of integration in the Caribbean, la cuna de integración en el Caribe, que es Montego Bay, y es nuestro propio ministro que es responsable para que este evento tenga lugar acá. So we are delighted that our chairman is the most honorable, the Honorable Philip Paulwell, Minister of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining, and we invite him to give the keynote address. El discurso de cierre.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. His Excellency Alfredo Lopez Valdez, Minister of Energy and Mines of the Republic of Cuba, and President Pro Tem of CELAC, colleague energy ministers, Dr. Victoria Auxilia Davalos of Oladi, our distinguished Mayor of Montego Bay, and of course I have to recognize my colleague Minister of State Sharon Abrams and Minister of State Arnaldo Brown, other members of the Parliament, our diplomatic and consular corps, members of the Jamaica Energy Council, members of the Montego Bay family, and we do have a large family here in Montego Bay. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the media, good morning. Buenos dias. I think the energy is too low inside this energy conference, so let me try that again. Good morning. I firstly want to bring you greetings from our Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller, who has asked me to convey her very warm regards to all, and appreciation particularly to all our visiting officials for attending this very important meeting. As we gather here for the second meeting of energy ministers of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, CELAC, it gives me great pleasure as host minister to welcome you to Jamaica and to the beautiful city of Montego Bay, my favorite city in the world. I am confident that by the end of today's proceedings, we will produce an agreement reflecting the intent of what will become known as the Montego Bay Declaration on Regional Energy Security and Integration. This declaration is an important milestone for this group, as it will signify a strengthening of the dialogue, collaboration, and unity of the region in tackling the most critical of issues relating to energy. Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is both timely and essential. Throughout Latin America and the Caribbean, energy is a major concern for every one of our nations, big and small alike. This region is blessed with abundant natural resources. It possesses enough energy resources to meet the requirements of all our people. However, as we all know, vast disparities in access, cost, and sustainability exist. This is particularly true of countries in the Caribbean. Climate Scope 2013, a study conducted by the IADB, Multilateral Investment Fund, and Bloomberg on the cost of retail electricity to end users in the Latin American Caribbean region, shows that Caribbean countries account for the half of the top 10 of countries with the most expensive energy prices. This represents a clear challenge to growth and the development of the region. As Energy Minister here, I can attest to the urgency of not only reviewing the current state and defining the principles that must guide the future development of the energy sector, but indeed to the action that must happen right away. Indeed, we all appreciate that high energy costs have an exponential impact on those of our citizens most in need of our care and protection. It increases the value of our exports, of our goods, and indeed affect all the services that we provide. Therefore, a secure, diversified, and affordable energy mix is undoubtedly a development imperative which is central to each of our nations achieving the United Nations Millennium Development Goals. This must be at the heart of our region's development agenda. As a region, we must address the issue of energy balances to ensure that we meet our growing demand. The economies of Latin America and the Caribbean are expected to grow collectively about 3% annually, and our region's energy requirements will be commensurate with that growth. In that vein, as regional leaders and governments, we must act in solidarity with due respect for sovereignty to arrive at sustainable energy solutions, policies, and initiatives that will guide our energy development. Importantly, we must provide a greater level of predictability in supply and thus ensure our energy security. Perhaps a model of this in action is the Petro-Carib Agreement, to which Jamaica is a signatory. Conceptualized by the late great president of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, Hugo Chavez. And in Jamaica, we salute, every time we hear that name, we salute Hugo Chavez. The core objectives of the arrangements were, and continue to be, the promotion of energy security, the eradication of social inequalities, foster improved standard of living, and promote more effective participation by the people of the region in shaping their own destiny. This model and others similarly structured to promote energy security must be prioritized. So too must formative research and innovation be on the CELAC agenda. Again, in acknowledging the contribution of the government of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela in promoting this core principle of energy security in the region, I want to cite just two examples of this in relation to us here in Jamaica. And these are the expansion of the Wigton Wind Farm recently, which is indeed a model for the region, and the joint venture partnership with PDVSA in our only oil refinery, Petrojam. And I know that the Venezuelan delegation is very strong. Minister Ramirez arrived late last night, and he will be joining us shortly. But again, we want to salute the tremendous support that we have received from Venezuela. I must also recognize Cuba's initiative and partnership with Jamaica in promoting energy efficiency and conservation, and in particular through the light bulb replacement program. Again, another major contribution to our economic growth and development. Through the complementary public education program, the country is seeing a sustained downward trend in energy consumption and, significantly, a far greater appreciation in our population for the efficient use of energy. To move to the prospect of increasing the contribution of renewable in our energy mix, in our deliberations today, we must actively consider and plan carefully to realize an energy future that promotes the sustainable use of all our renewable energy resources, our hydropower, wind, solar, geothermal, biomass, and ocean energy. The LAC region has been referred to as the new frontier in energy. By stint of geography, it is well suited for the development of renewable energy resources. Indeed, in 2006, the Latin American Caribbean area had approximately 11.3 gigawatts of generating capacity from renewable energy. This grew by 135% to 26.6 gigawatts in 2012. Not surprisingly, therefore, in 2012, the area was the destination for 6% of the world's renewable energy investment, $16 billion United States dollars. This investment is set to grow, but it must be nurtured and facilitated by government policies and initiatives. It is factual that growth in investment can be traced to countries with renewable energy-friendly policies, such as tax incentives, feed-in tariffs, net billing, net metering arrangements. I have seen this firsthand right here in Jamaica. We have begun an ambitious pursuit of renewable energy, and just last month allocated approximately 78 megawatts of a possible 150 megawatts of renewable energy to a national grid. Beyond large-scale capacity addition, however, government policy has facilitated the ordinary Jamaican, our people, through access to funding, tax incentives, to pursue their own renewable energy solutions. I am pleased to say that in Jamaica, we have now instituted a net billing policy, and we have set a target of having up to 30% of our electricity generation to be derived from renewable sources by 2030. As a result of these initiatives, we are well along the route to realizing that objective. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica remains committed to deepening regional collaboration. We are proud to host this meeting and for the opportunity to work with our neighbors on this critical issue of energy. We continue to support the work of CELAC and OLADE. Last year, we opened the first Caribbean OLADE sub-regional office in Kingston, which serves the needs of Caribbean member states. And again, I want to acknowledge the tremendous work of OLADE and the support that they provided us in establishing that office in Jamaica. As the relationship deepens between the Caribbean and the rest of the region, we look forward to the recognition of the role CARICOM can play in defining and developing energy policies, with a proposed change for the organization's acronym to OLACDE. Again, I want to welcome all of you to Jamaica, and in Montego Bay we say, come back again and again and again. I'm so happy that some of my colleagues were a little late this morning because they had a little swim in our wonderful waters. I know I'm very pleased to declare this second meeting of CELAC Energy Ministers open, and I look forward to our forthcoming discussions and agreements. I thank you. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much, Minister. And I'm sure we're very much inspired by your remarks and for reminding us that, you know, we really have a lot of integration going on. Cuba, Venezuela, Jamaica, other countries of the region have been doing so well in this area. And we got a taste of some entertainment, and let me assure you there's a lot more in store tonight at the, what's it called, the Jamaica evening, the Jamaica night, which you're going to enjoy tremendously, where we'll have more cultural presentations, opportunity to relax and dance and sing. So we have come to the end of our ceremony. Hemos llegado al fin de nuestra ceremonia de inauguración. Agradecemos a todos por su presencia acá. Agradecemos el trabajo que hicieron ayer y anticipamos el trabajo que van a continuar haciendo a nivel de ministros. And before we close, let me just make some announcements that there's going to be a coffee break now before we resume in the room, which is down the corridor where we were yesterday. But while the delegates are having the coffee break, we're going to invite the ministers, vice ministers as well, and the heads of delegation to go to the stairs of the conference center where we'll have the official photograph. So the official photograph is for ministers, vice ministers, heads of delegation, and of course our mayor, our executive secretary of OLADE. And there will be protocol officers to escort the ministers to the photograph. So thank you very much and continue to enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.